Hello, Facebook world. It's Joshua. How are you, friends and family? I'm making this video to say happy birthday to my mom, Donna K. Gray, Donna D. And because she's phenomenal. She really is. She's an amazing woman, and I hope that you help me wish her a beautiful happy birthday today. I'm going to tell you some really great things about Donna, okay? Number one, she was the first person to graduate high school in her family. She was the first person to go to college. She was the first person to graduate college. And she was the first person to get a doctor's of jurisprudence and become a lawyer, right? Education really was her saving grace. And her and my father always did everything they could do to give me the best education. I was very lucky to go to private schools. I went to a Jesuit school that gave a very great education, and I went to an amazing school called Wilhelm Schole that we learned mythology from all around the world and all the artists and Mozart when we were children. You know, it was amazing. She paid her own way through college and waiting tables. And even though she made her own wealth, she didn't get much of anything from her parents financially at all. She's really always been liberal and compassionate and a supporter of democratic social programs and affirmative action. And she really recognizes that just because she did it doesn't mean that everybody else could or can. And she did it during a time where you actually could afford college by waiting tables, you know? So she really, her vision is big. It's big, and her heart is huge. I was very lucky to grow up in a non-prejudicial household. My aunt was a radical lesbian feminist, and my mother loved her dearly. And, my mother had gay friends that became my uncles, and, all ethnicities, religions, beliefs, and practices. We actually had a really good cop friend when I was a kid named Officer Tweedy, who, at least to us, was a good cop and seemed to be a really good cop, and that was great. Um, okay, so she is such a go-getter, right? When the first sentence I ever remember reading was, Etta can get it. And man, if there was ever an Etta, it's Donna Gray. She's phenomenal. She called every day, I think for almost a month, definitely over 2 weeks, to get this really great job because the interview had gone well, and the guy finally hired her, and it was really good for her. It was a real good stepping stone for her. And he said, well, you apparently still wanted the job. And I just think about, me as an actor and how many actors or people I know where it's like, we don't hear and, I'm not suggesting actors call every day for a month. But man, when she wants something, she goes for it. And that's pretty phenomenal. And also, she is a woman with such chutzpah. Man, she's got chutzpah. She was on a job interview, and the guy interviewing her was, clearly arrogant, wasn't very kind to her, was, acting superior, right? And so they mentioned that the dessert is a fruit pie, a pecan pie, right? Texas pecan pie, Houston, Texas. And the lawyer says that, pecan is not a fruit. Pecans are not fruits, they're nuts. And my mother, Donna Gray, says, actually, the pecan is a fruit of a tree. And he says, wow, that's the first thing I learned from you this evening, Miss Gray. And what Donna Gray did, a woman who got her own education in, I don't remember when this was, but, 80s, right? Becoming a lawyer in the 80s. She looked at him, he goes, that's the first thing I learned from you all day. And my mom's retort was, well, you're one up on me, counselor, at a job interview. Isn't that phenomenal? She showed me the world and culture. She took me to Canada and Mexico and Hawaii and Russia and London and Sweden and Finland. And she, one year she bought season tickets to the symphony, the Alley Theater, the opera, the ballet. We went to museums. We went to great lectures. my Aunt Elizabeth, she really protected and funded Elizabeth when she was sick. She was her, she's a lawyer. She's a great advocate. If you ever want somebody like Donna Gray on your side. She's not practicing law. Don't call her. Don't like, she's fine. She's got a good job. She doesn't want to do any more cases like that. So, but she's a great lawyer. You want somebody like her on your side. And she's a brilliant critic. My mom came and saw the first play I ever did out of high school. How many parents, and my dad came too, and my aunt, how many parents would come see their son, 18-year-old son, in a play where it's a British play called Shopping and Fucking by Mark Ravenhill. If you haven't read it or seen it, it is brilliant. It's funny, and it is dark and sad at the same time too. And so my mom comes to see me in Shopping and Fucking, and I play a 14-year-old British prostitute at age 18. I had to get completely nude in the play. Every scene that I was in had a sex scene in it. And my mom comes and sees it, and instead of like, ooh, or oh no, my mom is so brilliant. She says, you know what is so amazing about that play? She says that play is about all these people waiting for somebody to come and save them. And she said, you know what's sad? Nobody's coming. And that's one brilliant thing about Donna Gray, man. Don't get me wrong, she's had help, she's had mentors. She recognizes that you don't do it alone, but she knew nobody was coming. So she became her own hero, and thus she's mine. She takes her faith and beliefs from really diverse religions and practices, and Kabbalah and yoga and Diamond Heart, and she did Est and Warner Earhart education. Her and my father too have always dedicated their lives to evolving. It's just brilliant. And so it was really nice to grow up in a household that wasn't overly religiously strict. It was beautiful. And she herself has evolved so beautifully. She's become so much more forgiving and kind. Not that she wasn't before, but she has so much grace, and she really has forgiven her parents, and she doesn't talk bad about them. She recognizes the hands were dealt, and that maybe just everybody is doing the best they can. And I'm going to tell one more thing about my wonderful mother, Donna. There was a moment where a family friend of ours was over, and poor thing, her house had burned down, lost everything. And she arrives, and she's kind of funny, like she's wearing a pink wig, and she's wearing a shirt that says, don't talk to me. She got the shirt made, clearly. She says, don't talk to me about my house burning down, talk to me about my pink wig. Well, of course, since she's wearing this shirt, it's bringing up the fact her house burned down. So my dad comes over, and, my dad and mom, pretty phenomenal. Divorced when I was 3, yet really good co-parents, and really respect each other and love each other dearly, and have the best interest of the other in their heart. And my dad came over with a friend of his, great guy, wonderful guy. And he's there, and, he just keeps asking this woman about her house on fire. And it's so uncomfortable, and it seems like a social faux pas, And I'm there kind of stuck, and I'm like getting angry for her, and she's clearly so uncomfortable, and it just keeps happening. It's like he keeps bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing it up. And Donna is quiet, and my father, I think, was pretty quiet in the moment. And I'm kind of like trying to defend her, and I'm getting really mad at him, and I'm about to almost start yelling, And Donna looks at our family friend, this guy, my dad's friend, and she says, hey, what did you lose? And instantly, the whole energy in the room changed. And he started to talk about all the writing he lost, so much writing that was in, laptops and computers that had died, and he couldn't get the writing out. And it was so beautiful because here I am sitting, and I'm like kind of in hate, and anger and sadness, and like, don't you realize she doesn't want to talk about that? And my mother was quiet and really listened. And she recognized that he wasn't talking to this woman about her. He was talking about him. And it's not always the case, but very often we don't realize it as human beings. We're pretty much always talking about ourselves. And it was so phenomenal. And God, if we could all do that. You know, and I'm not saying Donna Gray does that all the time. You know, nobody's perfect, but, you know, she's phenomenal. She is phenomenal. And her evolution is perfect. And I just love that she was really able to be quiet, to listen, and to see what actually was going on. And I couldn't see it. And once she asked him, he started to talk about him and his own loss. And our family friend got to wear her pink wig. All right, friends and family, if you please, thanks for watching this video. If you watched all 10 minutes or 12 now, but I just have so much, there's so much more to say about my mom, but I thought I'd choose 10, top 10 list. And so please wish Donna K. Gray a happy birthday, and let her know she's loved, because she's phenomenal. And she is loved. And I love her dearly. Thanks, Mom. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, most perfect mother for me, Donna K. Gray. Happy birthday to you, and so many more. Love you, Donna. Thanks, Mom.